Today we're going to talk about the Bostitch tool. It's this one right here. It's $100, and I got this one coming here for $40, $38.99. So you can get 2.5 of the Surebonder for the cost of this. Now, I am not disparaging this tool at all. I have had this a very long time. I have used the bejesus out of it. The safety thing broke, and then I fixed that, and then I was having to run. It says maximum 100 psi, and I was running like 120, and it just was giving up. But I have used this a lot. This is the next step up is like 120. So I just want to staple up some screen. I don't really. I've got all kinds of other pneumatic tools, thousands of dollars of crown nailers and everything else. But I thought I would take this apart and maybe it was just an O-ring or something. So I pulled out the little T50 little screws, and I'm just now gonna crack this open. It does. Maybe I ought to get some safety glasses. Maybe that's a good idea, because I don't know what's springy in there. Let's find out. Because this thing is just shot. No pun intended. And of course, it didn't go bad on me till after I bought a bunch of staples. I got to finish up the back porch, and that's not what this is about. But I don't care if this thing falls apart, because I really just don't. I don't want to use it anymore. I think it's just used to bits. So, well, there's that. No, I even threw the screws away. I don't even care, because this thing is just done its duty. Looks like, okay, those are separating up here. Okay. Oh, well, that comes out. That's what I've been hearing clanking around. So there's the handle. I'm kind of curious to see how the safety system works, because that safety device just broke, and then it just sit there and hiss at you. It would shoot if you got enough air in it. And I've had about enough of rebuilding Bostitch tools. I rebuilt a big framing nailer. I know the handle's gonna fall out. Just kind of want to get it to go here. It feels like it's going. Just kind of an anatomy of a burned out tool. Let's see if I can find my little nest screwdriver. Yeah, okay. Well, it's coming. Let's just see what's in this thing. Well, you think it's coming. We might have to do a little ripple here. And I don't mean whine. Yeah, it's got something spring loaded in. Oh, lost a bit. Oh, well, I felt something hit my foot. So here is okay, nothing hit me. So this side offers what hit my foot? Just probably nothing. Well, there's some of your plunger problem here. So this is the valve, which I think is probably some of the problem. So all it did was that, but you had to have, I get it, so the air comes in here through this, and then when you do this, it goes through this other one down to here. It's a very simple program you got here, nothing complicated at all, but not worth rebuilding. The kit probably, if you could even, I kind of looked up a kit for this thing. Let's just take this on apart. Oh, well, there's your problem right there. The I found the smoking gun here, and I don't think it's because I took it apart. what has happened here is that broke off right there. So see, that's supposed to have a little tip right here, and that explains a lot. So it really wasn't this. Might have been this too, you know. And there's the anti-theft little sticker. Good place to put that. So there's your problem, because I did not. Let's just take this on apart, and I'll show you if you don't know what I mean. Well, that ain't on there real hard. Oh well, here's more. That just broke. So that little end broke off of the valve. So all this stuff's just falling apart. So, all right, well, that's why it was sort of hissing and all this other stuff. Let's get this. How's this piston come off? I want to get this off. So let me do that. It looks like it's just on there with a. I don't know if I would think this thing was worth $101.49. So that's just on there with a little rubber O-ring thing. So you get that little O-ring off right there, or a little keeper, I guess would be a good word for it. And then you just push down on that, and then I don't know, but this was cracked open too. Let's get that off. Hang on a second. But yeah, I think I did the right thing tossing this in the bin, but then I kind of got curious and wanted to know what was going on. But what's going on is this plastic might have been from a bad casting. But like I say, I probably have been using this thing for more than 10 years. So I'm not disparaging the tool in the least. But I don't think for $39 I'm going to get much better. But at least I'll get the screen up on the back, and it looks like the one that's coming, the Surebonder 9600B, that also shoots the T50 staples, which I wanted. I get the 9/16 usually, and I keep some shorter ones in case I end up with something special. I did save my air fitting off of this tool that was right here. So, all right, let's get this off and take it apart more. Okay, I think I found the snakes here. So, kind of a pain to get that pin out, but here's the main driver piston. Let's take it apart here. And there's just your plain O-ring. And it's pretty gnarled up and flat. And of course the walls will be worn. And it pulls dirt in from having to have that hole in the bottom to let air, let it breathe. Rockefeller. So anyways, nothing worth saving here. Oh, well, there's something else that's all chewed up. Golly, what was that? I don't know. Some kind of little something. Okay, so that was also rotten. And so there's all the parts down there. Gotta say, I don't know what I paid for it, but it did its job. And I was about 2/3 of the way through in the back when it gave out the ghosts there. So, would I bother to tell you to take this apart and rebuild it? No, I wouldn't. Just, golly, it's like a mice got in there and chewed that up. Okay, so that's it for that. Let's see. Let's compare this. It looks like I say, it looks like this one's smaller. I need a blow mold case like I need another, like a 6th finger on my left hand. I got so many of those. I never use those. I'm a little bit too, I just put them on shelf. I don't tuck them nicely back into their case. So I'm just not that kind of guy. Very good for what it did. Well, let's do the old side by side here. I took this apart. Ooh, hope it didn't break it. So there's nothing in here now, and I saved what I could. I saved the little pins and springs, and then little hoses. and there's pieces of steel there. So never can tell when this stuff. That's what fell out and hit me in the foot, was that little donut, little rubber donut. But those little pins can come in handy. So anyway, let's see what they look like. There's the south of the border side, and let's just take a look at this. I think it would probably go this way. Yep. Well, let's see here. We got a little bit of lubricating oil. How nice. And I do like reading the directions. I am one of those people. Comes with a tip. I wonder if it'll fit my thing. We'll go out there and test it in a minute. Does it come with any? I guess it comes with staples. For the price, I mean, it was, you know, I thought it was pretty good. So this is the 9600B, not A. Well, I would say it's a little bit trimmer. Oh, it's a whole lot trimmer. Yeah, I like that a lot better. So it's 4.7 stars out of like 2,000 things or something. So, all right. Well, let me get a feel for it, and we'll see how it does. We'll crank up the air compressor on the back porch and just shoot one in or two. Let's get the 120 psi oil daily. Now this was a not oil thing, so I kind of, well, 8.3 bar, 1 atmosphere, 8 atmospheres. Okay. Well, I like the green. It feels like a good metal case, and this one, it has the you can control where the air comes out. I just let it usually go out the front on these kind of things. Yeah, it's probably what, 1/3 the size, like that. Interesting reading here. For some reason it says I've already put about 5 drops of oil. Comes with the oil. That's just so nice. Got to invert it. It'll splash in your face a little bit. It says 120 psi right there, but it says here do not exceed 100, and so it goes somewhere between 80 and 85. This, you know, if you store it. The other good point too was after you run 3 rows of staples, you want to put a couple of more drops in it. That's pretty nice. Good advice there. And so everything must be rated this high. So there was some other good little pointers in here too. Nice to have a schematic of what's going on. They seem to be big on telling you that the staple's going upside down. So apparently they've had some trouble with that. But to do this, you push this in, pull that out. There's a little lever right there. Uh-oh, set it back in again. Do it one-handed. So, yeah, I like the advice about oiling it like that. And these are T50s. They go in thusly. Click, and load in upside down. Okay, I'm going to try clever. So yeah, that's the little thing that keeps it from firing. Now that one would fire if you just pull the trigger. If you were pointing at the moon, it would fire. I don't mind that little trick right there, because it makes sure that the staple is going to be tight against what you're doing here. The other good bit of advice was always disconnect the air from the hose. Don't just leave it on there overnight. Shut off air compressor, drain the moisture. Yeah, I drain the moisture pretty regularly, and especially in the little Metabo. And it comes with a little Allen key over there in that bag, so where if you get a jam, you can get up in here and do this. So this one, the Bostitch didn't really, that particular model didn't do that. So it doesn't have the safety device here like that one did that broke on me. It has it down here, so that's pretty good. Well, let's go out there and staple something. So, well, I'll tell you my mother's joke one of these days about the difference between, well, we're not going to do that. Load here with points up. Very good. And nice little gun. It's got some heft to it. Oh, I got to do new tool alert for Mick. I haven't done that. Before we go out there, I wanted to make sure and say, usually when I put oil in something, I pull the trigger. It just lets the oil, on no matter what pneumatic thing I'm doing, I pull the trigger and let the oil just seems to get down in there better. Look at that, even wrapped it with some Teflon tape. Okay, let's go fire this thing up here. So whenever I adjust the pressure here, we're at like 120. You've got to, you can't just turn it down. You have to turn it down and release the pressure. Especially since it's new. So let's see. We went back up to there. Okay, so the tank pressure is going to hold at about 150. I've got this down to 80. Turn that up a little bit. So that's like 85. So let's plug it in and hopefully it works. This is a two-hander for sure. Hang on. Yep. Okay. Let's see how it goes here. No damage can be done here, that's for sure. Let's just see how it works. That works pretty good. It don't seem to take much air. And it's going to say, that's okay. That'll keep this thing from firing off. See, I had all my stuff on. Make a lot of noise. Oh, that's not too bad. Take the pressure off of it when not in use. The tank will last a lot longer because I was running full speed on the Bostitch because it was so old and everything. So this ought to be a little quieter anyway. So I always like taking these inside. Don't want to get a bee in your bonnet. So we can put some more screen up when the sun goes down a little bit more and I get a little bit more shade back here. About another hour. So give us a thumbs up and we will talk later. That's right, I gotta send a picture of it to Mick and tell him to watch this review. So we'll just leave them there because I know where they are. Alright. Thanks for spending time with me. I hope this helps you guys out. We'll give it a big run here by the end of the day. And if anything goes wrong, I'll let you know. But otherwise, if you don't see anything else on it, just consider it to be a go. Looks like a go to me. It feels great. Okay, bye-bye.